So we'll come over onto our mat and just coming into all fours. So when I say all fours, that's just with the idea the wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. If you know that you're having trouble with your wrists or your fingers or your shoulders or your neck and this is really uncomfortable for you, then you can come onto a chair. Like I always have a chair sort of handy. You can kind of work on a chair, or you just kind of alternate. You can come onto your knuckles, or even kind of work, can you come down onto your elbows every now and again. So just kind of really figuring out what feels all right for you. And sort of, so when we're on all fours, just giving the wrist a shake, little shake, and just lifting up one knee at a time. So just kind of getting a sense of that connection you have with the floor, with the mat, and with the ground, you know, that whole sense of stability that we have in all those points of contact with the floor. And that includes your feet as well. And you can kind of experiment. You can tuck the toes under. You can turn the toes the other way. You can flatten the feet. And just do that a few times. Doesn't matter if you're wearing socks or you're not, it's okay. Just kind of working with the feet a little bit, with the toes. And then just deciding where is comfortable for you. How do you want your feet? So we're just training ourselves to bring an awareness to all parts of us. And then just let the top of the head, crown of the head, come down towards the floor. So let the neck hang. And just be having a sense of the weight of the head. Make yourself sink between the shoulder blades, because you might have already done that already. So let yourself sink. And then between the shoulder blades and at the back of the waist, draw up. Draw up. Draw the chin in a little bit more. And then this time when you sink between the shoulder blades and sink at the back of the waist, can you just lift the gaze just a little bit, take the gaze forward, just being careful with your neck. And then when you draw up between the shoulder blades and draw up at the back of the waist, let the crown of the head or the neck lengthen. So just being careful with yourself, especially around the shoulders and the neck, because we hold so much tension there. And we're all feeling stuff at the moment, aren't we? And we hold all that tension around the neck and the jaw and the shoulders and in other places as well. So just kind of working through those little movements, rounding up and then letting yourself sink. Just a few times, just in your own time. And you can, make sure you're breathing. You know that you're breathing. You breathe anyway. You don't need me to tell you to breathe. And then just come back just to a neutral position. And you're just going to roll the head or turn the head, whatever that word means for you, just from side to side. And as you roll the head to the right, notice where you feel that in your body. When you turn your head to the left, space between the chin and the left shoulder, notice where you feel that in your body, and just turning from side to side. Then the next time you turn your head to the left, stay there, and if it's okay, just bring the right elbow onto the floor. Can you turn the gaze a little bit higher up towards the ceiling? And then when you lift the right elbow, just bring your gaze back down to between the hands. Turn your gaze or turn the head to the right. And when you bring, if you can, bring the left elbow down without changing too much in the right arm. Bring the left elbow down and see if you can turn your head a little bit more towards the right. And then come back to neutral. Turn the head one more time each side. Turn the head to the left. Bring the right elbow down. And can you turn the gaze a little bit higher towards the ceiling? So we're really kind of trying to release tension and to ease into the neck and the shoulder. And then just come back. As you lift the elbow, bring the head to neutral. Turn the gaze to the right. And as you bring the left elbow down, try to change nothing in the right arm, but it will change as you just take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Space between the chin and the right shoulder. And then just ease the elbow back up. Drop the chin down. Take the gaze forward. Lift the gaze. Take the gaze towards your knees. Take the gaze towards the belly button or the navel, so you round the spine. Take the gaze forward. Take the gaze up slightly. And you feel that dip in the lower spine. So take the gaze towards the knees. Take the gaze towards the belly or belly button, so inside the navel. Round spine. Last time, take the gaze forward between the hands to the base of the wall and just forward, and then you feel that drop in the back of the waist, and then just come back to neutral. And then we're going to tuck the toes under. You're going to take a breath in, take the crown of the head forward past the fingertips, and as you breathe it out, perhaps you can ease the hips a little bit back towards the heels. Breathe in Lift the hips, tuck the toes the other way, breathing in, take the top of the head forward. And if it's okay, as you breathe out, can you ease the hips back towards the heels? Just rocking forward and back. Breathing in, take the top of the head forward, maybe tuck the toes the other way, if possible, only if possible. And as you breathe out, ease the hips back towards the heels. You're lengthening the toes and the tendons in the soles of the feet and around the ankle. And just kind of go a few more times. And I only say breathe in and breathe out because it might slow you down a little bit. So just kind of taking your time and just training yourself just to track with your body, to track the effects of these movements on your body. The slower you are, slower we are, the more benefit there is to health, because we're rushing all the time. So when you come to your mat, it really is about just finding a way of moving that feels okay. Then the next time, you can flatten the feet, ease the hips as far back towards the heels as is possible. So only go to what you can do, because there's no point me saying you do this or do that, because your body just does what it can do at this moment in time, and it changes. Make light fists with the hands just to stack the head. So don't worry about getting the forehead on the floor. The forehead just rests on the stacked fists. So really allow the weight of your head to be given down, the weight of the elbows, the weight of the shoulders to be given down. And breathe in, and when you breathe in, feel the breath, not only in the chest or the back of the body, but maybe inside underneath the armpits as well, right the way down through to the tailbone as well. And breathe out. So just really having a sense of the breath inside your body. So even when we stop, we're still moving, our body is still functioning. Heart still beating, lungs still filling, blood still flowing. And then when you're ready, just come back into all fours. We're just going to work into deeper sort of movements. So we're going to, first of all, we're going to turn the right palm up and just circle the shoulder around a little bit, both ways, one way and then the other way. And then turn the palm down, turn the left palm up. So you're going to feel a little bit of weight going into the right hand. Circle the left shoulder one way, that's it. And then circling the left shoulder the other way, that's it. And then just come back to centre. Then you're just going to turn the fingers so they're pointing towards each other. And then just push the elbows apart a little bit, and then just bring the elbows back to neutral, just a few times. And then just neutral, so you're not locking the elbows. And just do a few little circles with the hips, so feeling that movement in the wrists as well. So just exercises to kind of strengthen it and to use the whole of our wrists, because most of us, because we're using the laptop or computers, keyboard, screens so much, most of us are suffering with our wrists and our fingers at the moment. Just circling in the opposite direction, and anything that's going on with our wrists and the fingers will translate into the shoulders and the neck and the jaw and the headaches, eye strain. And then just coming back to centre, and then just turning the hands the other way so your fingertips are pointing away from each other. So you can't do too much with the elbows, but you might be able to circle them. Any kind of movement, as you circle the elbows, feel that in the wrists. And if it's too much for you, just, every now and again, shake off. You don't have to take the weight back towards the heels, those kind of things. Just circling into the wrists. And then just bring the hands back to neutral. Fingertips pointing forward. So move the head again from side to side, relax your jaw. And then when you're ready, you're just going to take the right arm up. And as you take the arm up towards the ceiling, the gaze can follow and the arm can come all the way down towards your right hip. And you can turn to look behind. Take the arm up and bring it down. We're just going to do that twice more. We're going to breathe in, taking the upper arm up, over and round, and your gaze follows. And as you breathe out, bring it back. One more time, the in-breath takes the arm up and round and down. And as you breathe out, bring the arm back to neutral. Shake off the wrist, both hands, shake off. We're going to do the same on the left. We're going to take the left arm up, breathe in, taking the arm round and down towards the left hip, and the gaze can follow if it's okay with your neck. And as you breathe out, bring the arm back to where you started. Twice more, breathing in, taking the arm up, round and down. And as you breathe out, the left arm comes all the way back to where you started. One more time, breathing in, and the gaze follows. You can feel the turn in the spine as well. And then as you breathe out, you bring the hand back to where you started. Then if it's okay, just ease the hips back towards the heels. A little bit, lightly touch or wherever they go, and then just spring back. we're going to take the right, just kind of progress that a little bit. We're going to take the right arm up, just as you did before. You can breathe in if you like, as you go back. And then as you breathe out, bringing the arm back down. Now breathe as you need to, as you turn the right palm up and just thread the right elbow or the right arm underneath or through the left. And then going forward, round, so sweeping the arm round, sweeping the air round, then coming back, turning the right palm up and just threading underneath the left elbow, left arm. If possible, can you bring the right shoulder down? If possible, can you bring the right elbow, right ear down? So you're looking towards the left. You don't have to hold it. Come up, right arm goes forward, sweep it round. Just one more time. Take the arm up, round, turn the right palm up, sweep it underneath the left. See if the right elbow or right shoulder comes down, the right ear comes down. And then just engage down into the left hand to bring yourself back, to ease the shoulders, ease the hips back towards the heels. And you can make light fists with your hands just to settle the head, or just experiment, just kind of see, can the head rest on one fist, or can the forehead come to rest on the floor? Just kind of see where you are. And then we'll just do the same on the left. So coming into all fours again, we're going to take the left arm forward. Try not to sink too much into the right. Still feel as though you've got space around the chin and the shoulders. You can breathe in if you like as you take the left arm up and round, sweep the air round. The gaze can follow, and then as the left arm comes forward and down, turn the left palm up, take the left arm underneath the right or thread through the right arm and see if the left shoulder will come down, see if the left ear will come down. And then just come back, take the left arm forward, up and round. So we're just kind of mobilising the shoulders. It's a big movement with the shoulder. So kind of go careful. If it's too much for you, don't take the arm all the way back. Just threading through when you come down. Taking the last time, taking the left arm forward, up. Gaze follows the arm. Maybe the left hand just touches the left hip, and then you can bring the left arm back up, forward, down. Turn the left palm up. Thread the left arm underneath the right, and perhaps you turn the head towards the right. Perhaps the left ear comes down. And then you use the right hand on the floor to bring you back. Both hands come to rest on the floor. You ease the hips back towards the heels. See how that is. Bring the elbows a little bit closer towards the knees. So your head is off the floor at first. So never be in a rush to bring your head down, because our heads are heavy and our necks are really precious and shoulders can be really tight. So first of all, just kind of experiment with yourself. Stack the fists. And let the weight of the head be given down. So stop holding on to the head, because it's all we do sort of all the time, hold on and sort of feel that we have to do things. So now the weight of your head can be given. Maybe take one hand away, the weight of the head can be given. If you want to put the hand back and you're on 2 fists, it's fine. Or maybe the forehead might come all the way to the floor. You might find that now something might have released enough to allow the head to come down. And then we're just going to, from here, just take the hands forward and just tuck the toes under if possible. And we're just going to ease the hips back towards the heels. So we're just going to work with this with care. You can go, if it's too much with you with the wrists on the floor, then you can be on a chair. Right, so from here, we're going to push into the hands. Push down into the hands to feel, and to kind of feel how the shoulders tense up. Right, and then we're just going to see, can we lift up one knee at a time? To see where that is. And then stop. Lift up one hand at a time and give them a shake. So now we're going to try to do this kind of movement without pushing into the hands. Not pushing into the hands. You can feel the inside edge of the wrist, the base of the thumbs. The outside edge of the wrist, the base of the little fingers. The 3 middle fingers just lightly rest. So you're not pushing into the hands. There's an arch in the palm of the hand as well. Now just lift up the right hand, lift up the left hand. And now just imagine you're going to lift up both hands. So how would that feel? You're not actually going to do it. You're just going to imagine you can lift the hands. And then you're going to see, without changing anything with the hands, can you lift up one knee and then the other knee? So not pushing into the hands, can you take the weight away from the hands back towards the heels, back towards the hips, to lift one knee at a time. And then just see, can you lift up both knees? You're taking the weight away from the hands, back towards the heels. And then just bring the knees down, flatten the feet, ease the hips back towards the heels. Right, so if that was kind of impossible for you, then you're just practicing easing the hips back towards the heels, practicing that feeling of coming back through the arms into the shoulders from the hands. If it was okay, we have the hands resting down, we have the toes tucked under. We imagine we're going to lift the hands, so we're not leaning, or we are leaning, I suppose. We're not pushing actively into the hands because the weight goes down anyway. So we train ourselves to do the least amount of effort, because I mean, life can seem like a big effort sometimes. So when we come onto our mat, we do the opposite. So imagine you're lifting the hands and just see, can you draw the knees up? You're coming away from the hands into the shoulders, and just see, can you send the heels towards the floor? So we're trying to make as least amount of effort as possible. And then as we lift the heels, the knees bend and they come back down. Right, so if that was impossible for you, you can come into all fours. You can imagine the weight coming up from the hands. If you're not sure what I mean, push into the hands. So you can actively push. So now when you push, your body sinks. So now we're going to stop pushing into the hands, lift up one hand at a time, know that you can move the shoulders, know that you can move the hips. Now just imagine what it feels like to lift the hands. What would it feel like to lift the hands without actually doing it? What would it feel like to lift the knees without actually doing it? And then just when you feel ready, you lift the knees and you come up into down dog. And you send the heels far, far away, and you send the crown of the head forward. So you come into these things in different ways. And then you bring the knees down. And then you flatten the feet and you ease the hips back towards the heels. So you gradually train yourself to come into a deeper place inside you. So we're going to go into down dog one more time. So you choose which way you want to go. So the first way was this way again. So we're just coming, tuck the toes under. You ease the hips back towards the heels. You're leaning away from the hands, or you can be in all fours, whichever way kind of suited you the best. So imagine you're going to lift the hands, so we're trying to do as least amount of effort with the hands and the arms as possible. You can move the neck, the jaw is soft. You lean back away from the hands into the hips as you lift the knees. We're coming away from the hands back towards the heels. As you unfold the legs, lengthen the backs of the knees to allow the heels to rest down, and you free up the neck. You free the neck, you let the head go. And then from here, soft knees, soft elbows, and just see, can you walk the hands back or can you walk the feet forward, whichever feels doable for you. And then we're gradually going to allow ourselves to come to stand, and your head is the last part of you that lifts. Right, well done. Right, so when we're up, so just shrug the shoulders a few times, just kind of find your place. Feet are at least a width apart, and just link the hands like fists with the hands, and just do small circles or figure eights, number eights with the hands or wrists. So you just can't, because I know what we just did, they're very hard. Those little exercises, they're hard on the wrists, but you know that when we work with the wrists in that way, we're weight bearing, and weight bearing encourages blood flow. Blood flow encourages circulation, improves circulation, encourages better bone health. And just circle the other way. So weight bearing, my long-winded way of saying, weight bearing is good for your joints. Right, and then just shake, really shake the wrists. As though you were like a child. If you asked like a 2-year-old to shake their wrists, just imagine what that would be like. Just make sure they're not near any food. And then stop, and just let your wrists, the arms, just go. And you're going to take a small step forward, maybe your turn. Take a small step forward with the right foot, so there's space between the feet, so the right foot isn't directly in front, the right foot's out to the side. Let the left hand just come to rest behind you, relax the shoulders, your gaze is forward. Let the right arm just come in front. Now if you push or stretch the right arm forward, you're going to feel something inside, where the hand's resting behind you, you're going to feel something tighten up. So now ease the right hand back or the right arm back until where your hand's resting behind you can feel as though it can relax. Now where the hand resting behind you, draw back towards as you just soften your knees forward a little bit. And then is it possible to bring that right hand to rest on that right knee? Your gaze is down towards the floor. You can soften both knees. And you can maybe send the knees into that right hand. Send the right knee into the right hand. Imagine there's a hand on the left knee, so you're moving forward. You might feel the toes start to work. Now where the hand's resting behind you, from inside there, just turn away from the right knee. So you just start to turn towards the left slightly. The gaze can go up towards the ceiling. And only if it feels okay, can you take the left arm up. So you're opening all the lung space around the left side of the body. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, lower the left arm if it lifted, and come back up. Step back. Send the left foot forward, and just move rock forward and back a little bit. So get that sense of stability, sense of connection, grounding, and then just maybe stop with the right foot, the right heel lifted. Soften both knees. This time, take both hands onto the knees. Right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left, and soften the knees underneath the hands. We don't want any kind of locked joints. And then as you send that back heel down, keep the knees soft. Widen the elbows, send the crown of the head forward, forward, forward. Send the knees forward. So really slow your attention down. There's no need to rush, because life sometimes could feel like we're rushing. And then we're just going to take the right hand to rest on the collarbones, so past the chest. Now this part here is coming up as far, far away from that thigh beneath as possible. And then we're just going to turn the collarbones away from that left knee. So we're going to turn the collarbones as far away from that left knee. So we're turning the spine. We're turning away from that left knee towards the right. The right elbow might start to come up towards the ceiling, and you can take the right arm up perhaps. So you just start to find that twist or that rotation in the upper part of the spine without doing too much at all. Then lower the right hand back down, lift the spine, step back. Right, so let's go one more time. Usually do things at least twice. Take the right foot forward, because at the first time we're just kind of setting up the pattern. Right, so soften the knees, lift up the back heel a few times. As you send the back heel down, maybe take the hands on the crown of the head, just go into it different ways. So the elbows are wide. Allow the weight of the elbows to rest into the shoulders. Allow the weight of the hands to rest onto the head. Then you're going to take the right elbow forward, you're going to take the left elbow behind, but your knees are still facing forward. Then you're going to open the arms, but the knees are still facing forward. Then you're going to turn the gaze to look towards that back hand if possible. Now if that left arm isn't comfortable, you can lower it, it's fine. If you don't want to turn the head, it doesn't matter. You can find a place where you can have your head. And then if it's okay, as the right hand starts to go down towards that right knee, the left arm can start to go up towards the ceiling. So you try not to reach the knee. If the hand just goes to the thigh, that's okay. We're trying to turn the upper part of the spine. Make sure you're breathing, and then when you're ready, just come back to where you started. Turn the neck forward, come back, and step back. So we slow things down in order to, in a sense, by doing less, the body moves in a more fluid way. So then when you're ready, we're going to send the left foot forward. Left foot goes forward. And we can start perhaps with the hands, just slightly lean the hands and rest at the back of the head. So you can send the elbow, what's what I'm trying to say. So move the elbows forward, take the elbows wide. So using that to kind of have a bit of waking up feeling around the upper part of the chest, around the area between the shoulder blades, the area around the collarbones. So you're moving the elbows forward, you're opening them wide. And then lock your knees, lock the knees, and then soften your knees. Relax the shoulders, feel the heels. Let the weight of the spine rest into the heels, and then send the weight a little bit further forward into the toes to send your knees forward. Send the left elbow forward and the right elbow behind. So you might feel the upper part of the spine start to turn. Make sure you're breathing, feel the breath inside your ribs and inside your lungs. And if it's okay, you can open the arms, so the left arm goes forward, right one goes behind. Your gaze can be forward, relax your shoulders. Can you turn the gaze to look past that right shoulder? And then as the left hand goes down, the right one goes up, And you feel the breath around the right side of the body, breathing in, opening up the lung space there, breathing out. Breathe as you need to, as you come back, and then just step back. So coming into Tadasana, or mountain position. So the feet are at least at width apart, shoulders can just rest, and just twist the wrists a few times. Feel that through the shoulders, and then stop. Let the weight of the arms rest down by your side, and if it's okay with you, just softly close the eyes. And just give yourself just that bit of respite, that time to feel your breath coming in and to feel your breath leaving. And as you breathe out, really have that sense of resting down through the feet. The breath comes in. And then as you breathe out, imagine the breath travelling down through the hips to the knees to the feet. Let your hands come to rest on the thighs, but still feel the breath coming in and out. Draw the chin down, round the shoulders forward. Soften the knees, soften the knees. Let the hands come to rest on the knees. And then just like we did before, imagine your knees moving forward into the hands. So the knees are quite soft because that will take any pressure off the lower back. Knees are quite soft, allow the crown of the head to hang and the neck to lengthen. Your jaw to soften. If it's okay, you can take hold of the elbows, left hand on the right elbow, right hand on the left elbow, and the weight of the elbows will encourage the spine to lengthen down. But make sure you can move the shoulders. Maybe rock the elbows from side to side. Soft knees though, so you don't want to twist into the knees, so soft knees. And then just see if it's okay. If you unfold the hands or the fingertips might come onto the floor. Knees are quite soft, let go of the head. Really let go of your head. And then just walk your hands forward. Soft knees, walk the hands forward till you come back into all fours, sort of how we started really. Flatten the feet, and then carefully just ease your hips back towards your heels. And then just as we did before, make light fists with the hands just to support the head or the forehead, and let go of the weight of your head. Feel your breath. And notice where you feel your breath. And then just when you're ready, we're just going to sit just for the last few minutes, it's only a minute or so. Just coming to sit up. You can sit on a chair or you can stay on the floor if you like. You can lie down, however feels good for you. And just coming to a place where you can be quite comfortable. Hands resting on the thighs or down by your side if you're lying down, palms facing up, and just shrug the shoulders a few times. Or roll the shoulders a few times. Breathe in with the shoulders lifted, and then as you breathe out, just let your shoulders drop. Close the eyes if it's okay. Breathe in, lift the shoulders up. And as you breathe out, just let the shoulders drop. Twice more, breathing in, draw the shoulders up. Breathe out, just let the shoulders drop. And just once more. And then on that out breath, and the shoulders just go, they find their place. You notice your breath coming in. And just training yourself, and with that understanding or realisation that your breath will occur anyway. And just by training yourself to notice your breathing, you're just allowing yourself to come to a place of calm or quiet. And if your breathing makes you feel the opposite, if it makes you feel unrested, then work something with your body. Again, go back to drawing the shoulders up as you breathe in, taking the shoulders down as you breathe out. But if you're okay just to sit just with your attention on your breathing, then that's what you can do. So sitting quietly with yourself, noticing the breath at the nostrils or the mouth, the throat or the chest. Sitting quietly with yourself, knowing that ultimately rest comes from doing the least possible effort. And your breath arrives anyway, and your breath leaves anyway. And all we train ourselves to do when we sit quietly is to observe. and everything else is an exercise. So now as the class or time together comes towards a close, just noticing how you are, being with that sense of quiet, or whatever you found. Sometimes you don't feel that quiet. And just when you're ready, just taking your gaze forward or down and coming back to the room when you're ready and joining the rest of the day. So thank you.